This is so relaxing. Yeah. I think I don't know whether I was sceptical of like art and hairdressers. I think that's the right word. I was like a little bit worried that it would be like, I don't know, token's not the right word either.
Like decoration.
No, novelty, like a bit of a novelty.
Yeah.
But I think it worked really well, and me and Zarina have thought about this in the past as well when we've done film screenings. Like, how do you keep audience captive when you want to do like when you want to show a moving image or something like that, or even just like for a painting or something that you've like worked really hard on and you want people to pay attention to. And I think this might be like the perfect way to keep someone hostage.
You have to really hate the art to walk out with half.
No, I know. Yeah. That's true. But like that's when you can have like quite a productive conversation, I think.
Especially because they're capped.
Yeah, because they are.
Yeah.
And and you've got time to like talk it through.
It's like very rare you spend time with a stranger, sort of touching you and being close to you. Quite an intimate process.
It's so interesting.
And there's not many other professions where you spend an hour with someone with nothing to talk about. You see a therapist, but you're there for a reason with something to talk about. I think hairdressing is quite unique in that respect. Go.
It's so weird there not being a mirror.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, I did a talk at Slade a few years ago, and I went in and I was talking about the genesis of this project and what we do here. And it was BA, and they went nuts for it. And that was because Kieran said I was like one of the only artists who'd come in and was talking about what it's like to be an artist operating in London now. Yeah. And I think that is such a sort of pressing question. Yeah. A lot of artists just come in and go, oh yeah, they're talking about art in a vacuum. Yeah.
How interesting actually is it for like other artists to talk about their art in the space of a lecture like that? Yeah. Like when I think about the really, really good ones that I saw at CSM, it was when they were talking about other things but the art.
Yeah. So their thought process sort of thing.
Or their life.
Like, their life and like how they survive, what they do, like how they got to where they were, which very few people did. Like actually talk about that in the first place. Yeah. And it's like, I mean, if I wanted to know what your work was about or like what you were thinking about, I could just read an interview or like.
But I think it's because both of us like have prioritized these things differently, and the life is like everything around the art is almost more important than the art itself. Yeah. But like all that conversation was what I was interested in through school. And like
how to survive as an artist.
How to survive, and like sometimes in a lecture I'd be looking at the person giving the lecture and thinking, how much are you getting paid for this? Like in this hour, how much money are you actually getting? But I remember I couldn't let go of painting and literally having a conversation with the tutor where I was like, I'm painting because every so often I can sell a painting. It feels really good, and it's like something I can carry on after.
I feel like for me, I do this because like I've not come from a background where like art is like a normal thing. Like my parents do not see this as a stable profession.
Same.
Fair enough.
But like also it's not only is it unstable, it's like very entirely odd. Like my grandma thinks I'm a photographer. Yeah. So for me, it like never felt like something like I could figure it out with the help of like. And I don't have the knowledge like of how this works coming in.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same, and I always wanted to make art that I thought I could talk to my friends at home about where I'm from, and it just makes some sort of sense to them. And if it didn't, all my like friends who aren't in the art world, I always dragged them along, and it's a bit awkward, but that's really important. It was always really important for me. Yeah.
We sound like the same person.
I know.
Like that was my exact problem.
Yeah.
And like it's definitely something that we both carry with us when thinking about art. Like you think a lot, like like that review you wrote with your mum, like with her contribution to it. Like I feel like you really do think a lot about like what would my sister think? What would my mum think?
What I love about it, and partly why I wanted to sort of chat to you, is the sort of tone of the writing. And I think it sort of has a lot in common with probably the tone in here.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of crossovers. And sort of like,
It's kind of like,
not dumbing anything down, but talking about it in a straightforward way. And to me, that is like proper intelligence, rather than just regurgitated.
yeah.
Stuff. You know, it's what I'm always looking for in art writing, and I find it's quite hard to find.
It is.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
And
That's
it's why I
we-
don't read a lot. To be
That's
honest.
why we
About
started.
writing, yeah.
I guess we like are quite keen to insist that like just because we don't like something, it doesn't mean that we're being like nasty or like we're not the critic from like Ratatouille.
We're not. We're not
Yeah.
authorities.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
we by saying that didn't work, like by roasting the Tate, I'm giving them the greatest gift. I'm doing such a generous thing by telling them they're fucking racist.
Yeah.
Because they are.
They are, and if like,
And
I'm
it's
like,
not funny.
and in
Yeah.
me saying like, oh, they did that did this, like this is fucked up. I'm pointing out the problem in a way that like they can fix it.
Do you make anything now?
No.
How come?
I guess this satisfies a lot of what I was interested in. My main concern is what we've been talking about. Does this make sense to my demographic of people, the people I grew up in? And then I think this context does that really well. You know, I've made a sort of job out of showing art to new people.
That's so nice.
We have about 85% of the people that come here now don't go to galleries.
Wow.
I just
Wow.
recheck the stats. And that's like,
That's unheard of.
yeah, obviously no gallery is going to be able to claim that.
Yeah.
So you're making work as well,
I was.
outside of...
I kind of am-ish. I'm like in this weird moment where I'm like, I'm not sure if I should.
It's
Yeah.
really important, I think, that, or it's realistic as well, that I think people need another skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People who are like trying to pin all their like energy and hopes on like, I'm gonna be able to sell art,
Yeah.
and no one does that.
I know. Well, like it takes, like even if you do sell art, you like have to do like so much legwork to get to that point. And,
You
like,
need-
what do you do?
Well,
in
with the art
in-between?
fair pace, it's really unrealistic, I think, isn't it? Like
Mm.
what people have put through, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like moved to this sort of non-commercial art practice, and then was just like approaching 30. Like, how am I going to survive as a human being now? The next 20 years, you know. I've been working on this. Maybe I do want a car one day. Maybe I want a holiday. You know, this is unrealistic.
A holiday,
And unsustainable.
imagine.
Yeah, you know,
Ridiculous,
like,
yeah.
and that's fine to be. We've had this debate quite a lot. It's like it's okay to want to be a successful human as
Yeah.
well as a successful artist.
Well, like stable, you know. Like
Yeah, exactly,
If you
yeah.
can't afford to like have a kid, like
Exactly.
kids cost so much money. Like you should be able to afford to procreate.
Yeah,
Go forth, you know, like not that that's like, you know, the end all and be all, like maybe not have a kid but have a dog instead, like afford other things, like afford dependence.
I wanna be able
bit
to
of a
afford-
life, you know, yeah.
My measure is like, I want to be able to afford 2 coats, like 2 proper good coats.
A year.
Yeah.
Do you know what my motivation is for this year?
Go on.
I want to buy some new bedding at the end of Christmas. I want to go to the heel
Lovely.
sale and buy
Ooh.
some more Egyptian cotton and not worry about it. And not
Yes.
put it on credit card.
I splashed out after I did a commission for